Today on Investigate TV Plus, a diagnosis with lifelong consequences, and the cases are growing each year.
Most people know somebody with brain injury.
But we uncover research on treating traumatic brain injuries has stalled.
Do you think the lawmakers in Congress realize that this funding has lapsed?
I doubt most members are aware, to be honest with you.
And how those funding cuts could impact future treatment of the potentially devastating injuries.
Plus, a disease with no cure leaves families searching for answers as they learn to live day to day.
Some days I'm like, why is it so hard? Like, why is it still hard?
We share their emotional journey of honesty and inspiration.
I have so much gratitude. I'm grateful to be here today.
And explore a cutting-edge test that could help early detection.
Then,
I hope the world treats you like the amazing person you are.
a lesson in gratitude.
I want him to feel the most important he's ever felt in his life and be overwhelmed with joy and happiness.
How handwritten notes brought a classroom face-to-face with one veteran and his story.
In-depth stories that inform and inspire. You're watching Investigate TV Plus.
A traumatic brain injury sounds scary, and oftentimes it is. I'm Tisha Powell.
And I'm Lee Zurich. Each year, between 1 and 3 million people visit the emergency room with a concussion, a mild form of traumatic brain injury, also known as a TBI. While they're especially common in young athletes, experts say they often occur outside of sports.
They're happening on the playground. They're happening waiting for the bus. Kids just horsing around.
Health experts say early intervention and treatment are crucial to lessen the long-term effects of the injury.
But funding to make that happen is dropping.
Reporter Kristen Crowley shows us how that could impact people across the country and likely someone you know.
We're taking you on a trip to camp.
I-17.
You can see people gathering,
B2.
playing games, enjoying activities.
Do you need any other colors?
But sometimes our eyes only tell us half the story, because what you can't see is what brings all of these people together.
It's just like a family reunion, but you don't know all your relatives, but we're all related.
Related as survivors of traumatic brain injuries.
Some of them are very mild. Talking with them, you would never have an idea.
Take Mike Caton, for example. The fact that he's walking, talking,
B12.
even living is a miracle.
Back in 2005, I worked at a company and I had a rod go through my head.
They tell me it went through his brain and came back out.
Mike's wife, Mary, says he lost a lot of his memory and could no longer work.
Did the injury change him?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's just like he is now. He's happy all the time.
I like to play call bingo. I don't want to do anything now. I want to call bingo. B7.
We also met Stephen Garman
You want to put that in here, Steve?
and his mom, Barbara.
Been difficult. It's been a hard week. So we're really glad to be here.
Stephen got his TBI in a car crash. The 39-year-old still deals with seizures and can struggle with speech. At camp, he's among friends with similar struggles.
That's why I get emotional, because it's just, I can relax. I don't have to be on guard all the time.
Then there's Kate Wang.
I think one of the major blows was as I was struggling with one of the attackers, the back of my head took a blow to the curb.
The former Kansas City, Missouri police officer was attacked after writing a ticket in 2003. Her brain injury forced her into early retirement.
I had seizures, headaches, there was personality change in the beginning, and depression.
All three say coming together once a year helps heal a struggle they'll face the rest of their lives.
These programs mean a lot to people like me, to the people behind me, and we need assistance past the initial injury.
A struggle that could get harder for many survivors of TBI.
The pause in federal funding is very scary.
Maureen Cunningham is the executive director of the Brain Injury Association of America's Missouri chapter. It's a group that advocates for resources, research, and awareness to prevent brain injuries. A federal law called the Traumatic Brain Injury Act, signed in 1996, provides funding for all of that. The Brain Injury Association says it wasn't much, about $3 per person affected by TBI for research in 2024. But it was something. Until the act expired in 2024, meaning any research that relied on that funding is at a standstill.
There's going to be limited research, so the advances that have been made in research related to brain injury and living life with brain injury are going to stop. So what we know today about brain injury recovery is what we're going to know for who knows how long.
And over the years, experts have learned a lot about TBIs, like the fact that the brain can heal and improve with early intervention and treatment.
What happens if a brain injury is left untreated and undiagnosed?
It's days and years of frustration, of people thinking I'm stupid. What I used to be able to do, I can't do anymore.
It's thanks to research and education that once common myths around TBIs were debunked.
Most people know somebody with brain injury. You may not realize it, but a concussion is a brain injury.
It was once thought a concussion meant you needed to lose consciousness. Not true. Neither is the belief that children bounce back from TBIs better than adults. Disproving those myths meant giving those who suffer with TBIs better outcomes than in the past. Meanwhile, the number of victims is rising, now at nearly 3 million a year.
More brain injuries are happening, more brain injuries are being diagnosed, which is good, but the funding is staying the same.
Do you think the lawmakers in Congress realize that this funding has lapsed?
I doubt most members are aware, to be honest with you.
Representative Frank Pallone is sponsoring the TBI Reauthorization Act in hopes of bringing back the funding. He introduced it in February of 2025. Despite bipartisan support, it didn't make it through. He's hopeful it will in 2026.
What do you worry will happen if this act is not reauthorized?
But I think a lot of it is that people don't recognize this as a disorder, right? And so an important part of it is not only providing services to people and advocacy, but also recognizing that traumatic brain injury exists as a phenomena, and having more data and education, particularly for people that are at high risk.
Those high-risk people are older adults, 75 and up, who account for nearly a third of TBI-related hospitalizations, and that's in large part because of their fall risk. But young children are also at an increased risk. An undiagnosed brain injury can impact their long-term brain development. If the federal funding isn't restored, these campers and their families worry what that will mean for future treatment, future resources, and their future well-being.
You can improve your life, or you can do other things, or you can have life after your injury.
In 44.
I think that's huge.
The TBI Act also provided funding to the CDC to run the National Concussion Surveillance System. Its goal was to help improve prevention, care, and recovery from TBIs, but because the act expired, the program isn't collecting data anymore. That means there is no tracking of how many people get concussions or how they got them, which the Brain Injury Association says means we can't learn how to prevent them. But advocates say voters can make a difference. You can call your congressional leaders in your state if you want the TBI Act reauthorized. Pallone says the more people who know about it, the more they can do something about it to bring funding back. Reporting in Kansas City, Missouri, I'm Kristen Crowley.
Experts say traumatic brain injuries can significantly increase the risk for Alzheimer's and other neurodegenerative diseases.
But up until 2025, scientists had little understanding of why. Research from the University of Virginia suggests TBIs impair the function of lymphatic vessels connecting the brain and the immune system. Located in the brain's protective membranes, these vessels were thought to not exist until researchers discovered them in 2015.
Still ahead, a life-threatening disease leaves patients and their families fighting for each day.
He was given 2 to 5 years to live, and he has exceeded that.
Why the father of 5 says the diagnosis brought his family closer together.
Plus, some schools offer courses on personal finance, but one campus takes it a step further.
Financial literacy is super important.
We reveal how and speak to students getting a head start on real-world skills. It's a deadly disease the Mayo Clinic says has no known cause and no known cure.
Amyotrophic lateral sclerosis affects nerve cells in the brain and spinal cord.
It causes muscle loss and gets worse over time, eventually affecting the muscles needed to move, speak, eat, and breathe.
Diagnosed with ALS and given just 5 years to live, a New Orleans father is defying the odds.
Reporter Tan Trung joins us now to show us how the family makes every day count.
In September 2019, Brian Johnson was on a run when he noticed his left foot dragging on the ground. 8 months later, he received a diagnosis that would change his and his family's lives forever. The father of 5 took us into his home to share how the diagnosis has reset his perspective on life.
I imagine that when I pass from this earth, some will say, Brian is finally free. He can walk and talk and eat and breathe. But this sentiment will be misguided, because I don't need any of those things to be free. I am experiencing total freedom right now, and that is worth more to me than even the abilities that I have lost.
Brian, his wife Christy, and their 5 kids have all marked some major milestones this past year. There were graduations, trips, concerts.
Yeah, we got last minute. We were given tickets to the Paul McCartney concert.
And as I saw today,
what's up, guys? I am Brian. Come with me to 1v1 Nate in basketball.
Brian has plunged into the world of TikTok. For Christy Johnson, the highlight of this year has to be Brian celebrating his 49th birthday.
So he was given 2 to 5 years to live, and he has exceeded that. So we did a really big fun celebration.
Brian chose a specific theme for his birthday bash.
Brian is the one who came up with the theme of I'm not dead yet. And so that's kind of been a fun slogan for this year.
ALS is a particularly cruel disease. It progressively robs the patient of everything from muscle control to breathing. But you won't find Brian complaining. In fact, he believes ALS has made their family even tighter.
My kids are 21, 20, 19, 17, and 14. We have a beautiful relationship with all 5, and they have a great relationship with each other. We have an open door policy, and that means that our door is always open and you can talk to us about anything going on in your life without fear of consequence or judgment. I think that the disease has brought our lives closer, and that is the beauty and the tragedy that life has dealt us.
Christy isn't fond of complaints either, but you can't expect honesty.
At the same time, it's a lot of work, and I do remind myself that this life's not normal. Some days I'm like, why is it so hard? Like, why is it still hard?
She says it can cost up to $200,000 a year to keep an ALS patient in Brian's condition alive. Through a network of family, friends, and even strangers, Christy says not only is Brian alive, but he's thriving.
I have so much gratitude. I'm grateful to be here today. I'm grateful for my wife and my kids who I get to share this wonderful life with. I'm grateful for my caregivers and for all the love and support from all of those who love and support us.
Brian uses social media to share his journey living with ALS. As of January 2026, more than 400,000 people follow him on TikTok. In New Orleans, I'm Tan Trung.
According to the ALS Association, many people are diagnosed after the disease has already taken significant hold.
While it says there's no definitive diagnostic tool, a nonprofit research institute says a blood test may help catch the disease earlier.
Results from a 2025 study show a blood test developed by brain chemistry labs could reduce diagnostic delays and improve patient outcomes. Still ahead,
thank you so much for your service.
Homework with heart.
You have worked so hard for us. You are truly an honorable veteran.
The inspiration behind one classroom's mission to make a veteran feel special.
But first, a credit union inside a high school where the customers and tellers are students.
We're running around, opening accounts.
A lot of our students have bought cars and just did it responsibly. They're educated and they're comfortable with the process.
We show you the lessons in action and hear from students doing real banking.
Knowing how to save, borrow, and invest can set young adults up for success after graduation.
Yet, a 2025 survey reveals 87% of adults feel high school didn't leave them fully prepared for how to handle money in the real world.
At an Arizona high school, financial literacy goes beyond the textbook.
Reporter Susan Campbell shows us how students are getting real-life experience in handling their cash.
Ava Falcone is a senior at Metro Tech High School in Phoenix. She has big plans for college and an internship already under her belt.
We're running around, opening accounts.
She's one of 6 students interning at the Copper State Credit Union branch inside their high school.
If someone has questions about wanting to save up for their senior prom dress, they come up to us and, we give them those financial options and we can open an account for them.
Brittany Nuno is an intern here too, helping classmates open teen accounts.
Money is a tough topic, but with finance class and learning how to manage money through class and the internship, I feel like it's become easier.
You're doing real banking here.
We are doing real banking.
Christina Lamar is the vice president of member services at Copper State Credit Union.
Why is something like this important for high school students? We're very passionate about financial education in our school system, so starting them out here really gives them the foundation. A lot of our students have bought cars and just did it responsibly. They're educated and they're comfortable with the process.
Financial literacy is a challenge, hovering at just about 50% for U.S. adults, according to the World Economic Forum. That means people struggle to answer questions about borrowing, saving, and financial risk.
And financial literacy is super important.
Jeff Howard teaches a finance course at Metro Tech. He says there are a few lessons that transcend the classroom.
A rainy day is going to happen, so always saving for that. Looking towards the future and having some big long-term goals. And then the biggest part is don't get into debt. Credit is a huge problem.
Ava says she is confident in her money plan because of the lessons she's learning here.
Everyone loves to say, oh, I want to be rich, I want to own a yacht, cool things like that. But I think before all those things, it's about just building that base. So once I build that financial well-being and base, I can just, keep on living that dream.
As of January 2026, 35 states require students to complete a standalone financial literacy course to graduate. Utah was the first to do so in 2008.
Still ahead, a salute to service.
Oh, they were phenomenal. She said that they were 7th grade kids, and a lot of them just zeroed right in on everything and thanked me, and they're just well thought and well put together.
We take you to the classroom teaching lessons you can't find in a textbook. April 30th, 1975, the day the Vietnam War ended, more than 40,000 U.S. service members died during the conflict.
But as the National Veterans Homeless Support notes, those that came home found a country divided and often hostile. They were not met with parades, but with protests.
After learning this history, a 7th grade class in Missouri was inspired to make a Vietnam veteran feel appreciated for his service.
Reporter Caroline Hecker shows us how they're thanking a hero.
Inside DuBray Middle School, amidst the hustle and bustle, you'll find one generation,
Dear Mr. Cernisek,
stopping to honor another.
we appreciate your hard work and your honorable stand in Vietnam. I appreciate you for all you have done for our country.
You have worked so hard for us. You are truly an honorable veteran.
These handwritten letters, part of Tracy Hubecki's 7th grade social studies class.
Living in America, you get to do a lot of things that maybe some people in other countries don't have that kind of freedom to do. So I kind of wanted to express that.
These letters, written to Jerry Cernisek,
Well put together.
who at just 19 spent 11 months in Vietnam with the U.S. Army. Upon returning home, he remembers being told to change into civilian clothes on the plane. He only had his uniform.
Got a lot of nasty comments and stuff, and I can understand it. It was not a popular war, but I was called and I would serve my country. So, and I would do it again.
So when Jerry returned home from a Freedom Honor flight, he came home.
I got hundreds of letters in here.
To this, a stack of letters from people all over, including DuBray Middle School.
Dear Mr. Cernisek, I learned your name just a few minutes ago, and I can already tell you're an amazing guy.
He spent all night reading the letters.
I greatly appreciate all you've done.
Some short.
Thank you so much for your service.
Others long.
To think that, that now that I am back and I survived everything, that, it just was overwhelming, that people were appreciative.
People like 12-year-old Riley Burlingham.
Whenever people came back from the Vietnam War, some people didn't get appreciated for it. And it just seems like everyone should be appreciated for what they did.
Her classmate, Ben Brown, agrees.
I want him to feel the most important he's ever felt in his life and be overwhelmed with joy and happiness.
And how could he not?
I appreciate all you have done for our country.
Even 56 years later.
I hope the world treats you like the amazing person you are.
I'm glad he finally got the recognition he deserved. Didn't get it after the war, but it's not too late.
How emotional probably for him to read those letters and see that people that don't even really know him do care.
And they're
care
little
what he does.
kids.
They are little kids.
Yeah. Well, that's it for us on Investigate TV Plus. I'm Tisha Powell.
And I'm Lee Zurich. Thanks for watching. On the next Investigate TV Plus,
we need immediate help.
A 6-year-old drowns on a school field trip, and her death exposes what some call gaps in emergency care.
I was just wondering if you can reroute to Rome. They're advising they're not equipped to handle pediatrics.
Are they not equipped to handle a cardiac arrest?
From a missing life-saving medical device to a hospital unable to take her, we uncover what led to her delayed treatment.